Welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on Shannon Blynn's hop, which she titled The Next Big Thing, and it's a year worth of using large elements on your scrapbook pages. And I'm going to be using, well, we're going to all be using a big title for the month of May. And so I have sitting here before you some alpha thickers that are all stuck together because, you know, annoying. They won't stay on the backing paper. And I'm using papers and embellishments from Tracy Reed's newest collection, which is titled Trailblazer. I've got a couple photos of my husband and a journaling card, a big compass, and then I'll probably bring some other things in here. This is a piece of the Traveler's Notebook paper that I'm not going to mat my photos with, but I thought I would do something like this. I may mat these with white cardstock. I have a couple sheets here of scraps from previous layouts that I can do that with. So I'm going to pause. We're going to get started, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mat these photos on this scrap of white cardstock. This is probably a cardstock that I cut for matting and just saved the remainder of it. And I ended up only needing one of those scraps, which is good. So I just tucked the other one back into my scrap stash and set it aside for another time. The smaller pieces I probably tossed. So I am cutting this down from 12 by 12 to 7 and 5. I'm going to use the 7-inch side. I cut off 1.5 inches from the top, and now I'm going to take the stripe and I'm going to cut 1-inch border there, and I will cut it down to 10 inches so that I have a 1-inch by 10-inch border. I'm using the striped paper to anchor my photos and the title. The title is, of course, what our prompt is to use a big title. And this is a pretty good sized title for me. It's going to say, "You are always my true north." Taking that piece of blue bandana Traveler's Notebook paper, and I am going to go ahead and just place that down on there. I'm going to get these photos on here. I realize the bandana paper is too low, so I'm going to move it up just a little bit. You have to be really careful with paper that you print at home because it does tear easily, and I didn't want that to happen. I want to make sure that I use this pocket card for my journaling, and it's just going to kind of go back there. And I stuck that large compass up there behind the two photos. It's more behind the right photo than it is the left. Do you see these letters? These letters do not stick whatsoever. They will not stay on the backing. My goal this month is to use up these letters as much as possible, and that way I don't have to keep fighting with them because it's very annoying. They're just a jumble and it's really hard to go through them. The next video I believe that I do with them, I actually pull the letters that I know I'm going to use off camera, so you don't have to see this part and see me digging through all of this. It is such a mess. So I'm looking for an E, and I'm looking for some of the other vowels, just because the large letters are going to say my true north. You are always are going to be with those white letters that you see underneath. Those are little white foam letters from American Crafts, and they're awesome. Both sets of these letters are in my counterfeit kit for the month of May. I am not using anything else, I don't think, from my counterfeit kit. I think everything else is Tracy Reed product, just my title is going to be from my stash. This isn't a release layout, so I feel like it's okay for me to mix it with my other stash. I printed quite a bit of this collection. Lately I've only been printing what I know I will use. And this month I just loved all the papers and wasn't sure what I was going to use first, so I printed all of the things. Silly me. And I had to put them in a large Ziploc bags so I could put them away. So I've got the large portion of the title in there. Now I'm going to come in with these smaller letters and get those down in here. Again, this is going to say you are always my true north. And I'm spelling the words backwards, which causes me to actually have to really think about it. So that's a good exercise for your brain, by the way, is to spell words backwards. Sometimes if it's a really long word or a word that I don't use often, I actually have to write it down and then spell it backwards using my cheat sheet, but not this time. So I've got all of these on here pretty well. The foam letters actually stick very well, and that's great because it's kind of frustrating when you get a set of thickers like the green ones who don't stick, or that don't stick very well. So I've got that on here, pretty happy with that. Now I'm just going to start trying out embellishments. I kind of really wanted to use that sign. I don't believe it ends up on this layout at all. I pull out the clouds and I'm considering sticking those up here in that corner by the compass. I've got 2 on one side, 1 on the other. I love the So Lucky. Was wanting to put it on my journaling card, but it's just gonna cover up that heart rope. So I move that up over there in the top left corner, and I move the 3rd cloud over there in the top right. I'm going to start adding some flower bits here and there for this title, and just kind of making some decisions on the colors here. I know that I'm going to do some layering with some foam adhesive, so that helps me kind of visualize what's going to go where. And for the most part, I think that I like what I've done. I'm looking for another element to put in the top right. These were much better organized when I first started using them, and now I've got kind of a mess going on over there, so I'm going to have to reorganize those to make it more usable. But I'm just going to continue layering and sticking things here, and I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. All right, I got my layout completely finished for the Next Big Thing hop. Pretty simple layout. Love being able to make a very large title. Got my journaling on there, got everything glued down. I put some foam adhesive underneath these flowers, the short horseshoe, and the butterfly, and that covers it. I will add some twine up here to this off camera, and you can see that in the still shots. I want to thank you for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribe. If you are new here, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Just click that button below. It'll always be free to subscribe to my channel. My goal is 3 to 4 new videos on my channel per week. I usually do pretty good with keeping up with that goal. My husband, the man in these photos, is actually deployed, and during the middle of May, he is coming home for 10 days of leave, so my attention will be on him while he's at home, and I'll see you when I get back. I do have some content going up on my channel while he's here, but I might not have the 3 to 4 that I normally like to have, so I hope that you will forgive me for that. Again, you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure you check out that description box below for the list of creators who are participating in this hop. It's a fun hop, and there are some amazing creative people participating, so check them out and leave them some love too. Bye.